Thank you for staying tuned to Sunrise at Sea right here on CTV, and welcome to the Twitter Jabs. Today I am sitting down and having a conversation with Mr. Asher Wilson Owere, and he's the Chairman General of the National Organization of Trade Unions. And we are going to be discussing the assentment of the NSSF bill that was signed on January 2nd by the President of Uganda that allows for midterm access, and workers who are 45 years and above who have saved for at least 10 years will be able to access 20% of their savings. Good morning, Mr. Owere.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm glad to have you here.
I'm also glad to be in CTV for the first time.
Yes.
I'm really humbled, and thank you for hosting me.
You're welcome. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
I hope the year has started on a great foot for you.
Yeah, the year started actually, I would say the president gave us a New Year gift.
Yes, he did.
By signing this bill.
Yes.
It was something very, very interesting, and I can't take it for granted.
Yes.
Yeah, because you know how how relevant this law is for the working people.
Yes.
Yes.
And I also know that last year you were aggressively pushing for this bill to be signed. But before we dive into the conversation, I would like you to please share with our viewer this morning what exactly the mandate of the National Organization of Trade Union is.
National Organization of Trade Union is the umbrella body of the trade unions, workers' organization in Uganda. There are two centers in Uganda. There's the Central Organization of Free Trade Union and National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU.
Yes.
Then COFTU.
Yes.
NOTU particularly is the umbrella body with 33 unions, but now there are 34 because there's a union which has just come in on board. 34 unions, and our main mandate is to ensure that the interest of workers and the protection of their rights, and ensure that our affiliates are organized in a way that they protect the interest of workers in the whole country.
So is it just your members of the union, or do you also assist people who are not, workers that are not members of the union?
The mandate of the union is to advocate for all workers, despite you are in the union or not in the union. But the official way is you are supposed to join the union and ensure that you. But when we are negotiating, discussing anything that interests the workers, we don't look at only membership. We look at everybody. And these are some of the things that makes you come to us and say, okay, I want to be a member. Yes. Yes.
So now let's discuss midterm access. What does this mean exactly to the worker? What does it mean for the worker to access their midterm access?
You know, NSSF is a saving for old age.
Yes.
Now, old age, this was thought by our grandfathers, who actually, through international mechanism, that is International Labour Organization, they saw it right that we should have, when you are working. But the one of Uganda was particularly because those in government by then were on permanent basis. Others were not.
Yes.
And those on permanent basis were now getting what they call the government plans for them, for their retirement.
Yes.
But these ones who work in the informal
and private
sectors and so on were not catered for. And so it was imperative that they come out with something that will, when you are retire, you don't look a destitute, but you have something that you can fall back on. So it's But all along, there was a lot of, it started small, but then with the time in 1985, that's when it started gaining.
Yes.
Until 2009, when there was also a lot of issues with NSSF.
Yes.
So we as workers, we came in and said, no, we need to take this on.
Yes.
And ensure that we have a better scheme for our people.
Yes.
Now, first of all, in 2008, we had issues with the government.
Yes.
To ensure that NSSF becomes viable for the workers. Because by then there was a lot of scandals. Maybe by that time you are not yet in the, but the
Yes.
scandals were many.
Yes.
So we said, no, we need to take on government and take charge of our own affairs.
Yes.
So we demanded to be in the governance
Yes.
of NSSF.
All right.
So in 2009, the president, in his wisdom, decided and said, no, workers, since you are claiming you want to be in the governance, here you are.
Yes.
Go in. They gave us 5 to be on the board
Yes.
of NSSF. And by then, I remember the vice president, by then, Gilbert Kenya.
Yes.
The president directed him, and he took us through, and we were given slots on the board. By then, NSSF had only 1.7 trillion
in assets.
in assets.
Yes.
Everything. But what happened? What we decided, we asked the board to be very, very, and rebrand the organization.
Yes.
They
All right.
hired in new people, and they took over. And today, as
Yes.
we talk,
Yes.
the fund has become the best. So when we saw that the fund has now climbed,
Yes.
we said, instead of mandatory where you are 55, let's look at
Bring it down a bit
bring
to
it
45.
down a bit,
Yes.
so that people start enjoying their money, start
Absolutely.
investing when they are still
Able to
able to,
enjoy and
yeah.
the benefits of their hard work.
because
yes.
we saw a lot of things coming. Sometime, in Africa, the age sometime is up,
Sometimes it's low, yes.
slower. So we said, no, well, let's lower it so that we have, but in our mind was to lower the age.
Did the pandemic prompt this?
No, we started this before pandemic.
Yes.
But God is also planning for his people.
Yes.
When the pandemic came in, we also used it to promote it further.
All
because
right.
it justified our what?
To bring it down to 45.
To 45.
Yes.
Because
And
there you are not sure whether you are going to live the next day or not.
Absolutely. And is the 20% enough? Because the amendment bill does say 20% for people with 45, who are 45 years and up, and 40 years for persons with disabilities and up. Is it that persons with disabilities who are 40 years and up will be getting 50%?
Initially, we had proposed the 30%
Yes.
for those who are not disabled,
Yes.
and then disabled 50. But when we went through calculations and so on, we found we also don't want to deplete
Yes. The savings.
the savings.
Yes.
Because this is particularly money for, and you are asking why only 20%?
Yes. Why only 20%?
We looked at the amount of money we have, and also to kickstart something. When you reach 45,
Yes.
that is the middle age, somewhere where you are remaining with 10 years to access the whole amount.
Yes.
So you start with 20, you do something. Maybe when you get the full amount in 10 years, you start, you push in.
Yes.
You invest more money
Yes.
in that venture.
All right.
But when you are 55 and you get the whole amount, you start now running around.
Yes, you get excited and end up just, squandering all your
Squandering the
savings.
money.
So how much is the NSSF fund looking to pay out? Because some reports are not, specific. So how much is NSSF going to pay out? And how many people are eligible to pick?
The people who are eligible to pick, I will estimate at around 100,000.
100,000.
Yes.
All right.
Because there were around 95,000.
Yes.
But by now, I know others have now reached that year.
Yes.
Because the others were still below. But now I know others might have reached that year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how much is NSSF looking to pay out to the
NSSF is looking to pay
members?
For us. We put it at 1 trillion, but it's lower than that. It is around 950.
All right.
950 billion.
All right.
It's lesser than 1 trillion.
All right.
And I'm not sure that everybody will come for the money. But that is the amount of money.
So, like you have said, you don't think everybody will come for their money. So, do the people who are eligible have the option to not go and get their 20% if they don't want it?
No, it's your option.
Okay.
If you don't want, it is up to you.
Yes.
You can wait until. But if you need it, you go for it. And that is what is in the law.
So what is being done to sensitize and create awareness so that the people who are eligible can actually go and pick their money? Because some people may choose not to go and pick their money, whereas some people may not have the right procedure and information to actually go and access their funds. So what is being done to create sensitization?
We work as a tripartite. National Organization of Trade Unions with its sister center, COFTU.
Yes.
And the employer and the government.
Yes.
We work under tripartite, International Labour Organization. We have workers, employers,
yes,
and government.
Yes.
Now, government, workers and employers, we are supposed to have a joint session,
yes,
to take workers through a lot with the help of NSSF and drive this. And also, in fact, what could I say? What do I say? To promote and also educate workers,
yes,
on how they are going to access this money.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what happens to eligible workers who unfortunately lost their lives during the pandemic or before the approval of this bill? Will their families be able to access these funds?
Yeah, once somebody dies, there's a process of accessing that money. And the process is normally through, I hope for you have what they call next of kin.
Yes.
So next of kin is supposed to make a claim, and that claim goes through the process, and they are given the whole amount of money.
All right.
But sometimes they have a problem that why it delays is when you're a man and sometimes you have two wives and then both of them are claiming. Then they have to take it, is it Anthony?
The Attorney General.
Or that process of Anthony to clarify who is the real person and
yes,
so on, and then before the NSSF can pay.
All right. And it was also said by Honorable Anita Amongin that the money will be accessible in 2 months. Is this period assured? Because that is what a lot of people have been asking on Twitter or on social media. Is it assured that the funds will actually be there in 2 months? There are also claims people are saying on Twitter insinuating that the funds are not there. So I would really appreciate it if you could clarify on that.
First of all, with the authority,
Yes.
as a workers' leader in this country,
Yes.
I want to assure all the workers in this country that the money is there. The money is there. Nobody should deceive you that the money is not there. The money is there. Actually, by the time we started this, you know, we have board members in NSSF,
Yes.
and we asked them to start saving this money, put it aside. If they didn't do it, then it is another party. They have assured me that the money is there.
Yes.
They are already planning on how to. Now, what is remaining is the process. Now you are asking about 2 months.
Yes.
When we were making this law, our draft was saying, we even put it there to the MPs that they should put actually 2 months after the law has been passed.
Yes.
And it is a law.
Yes.
That by 2 months, after 2 months, people should be able to access this money. What happens now is they have to gazette this law. I know now the gazetting is taking place.
Yes.
After gazetting, they are now working on the regulation.
Yes.
The ministry is doing that. Then after working on the regulation, they will take it and show it to Parliament and say, okay, this is the regulation. This is how people are going to access this money.
Yes.
And I expect them to expedite this. Because for us, we are following it keenly. We want this out of the way. Out of the way.
Yes.
So that people access this money, and we start that process, because this is a process which will be ongoing.
Yes.
If you don't get this year, next year you clock. I don't know when you will be clocking it. So it is continuous.
Yes.
Yes.
And I would like to ask, out of curiosity, why was there a contest between Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Gender on who should supervise this, this payout? Why was that so? Why was that there?
No, that is historical. I explained to you that when in 2008,
yes,
there was a lot of scandals. So the president, in his wisdom, decided to transfer this fund from the original ministry.
Yes.
Ministry responsible for labor workers is the one responsible for social security.
True.
Because they have the policy and so on. But that time the ministry was riddled with a lot of scandals and so on. So the president, in his wisdom, decided that no, let this fund be controlled by what? Minister of Finance, because it has become a very big chunk of money. Let it go there. So with the time we said no, we need to concretize and ensure that our own savings is under our own ministry.
Yes.
And because the policy is with the Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development. But we said no, let the money, being too much money, let it be monitored by
Ministry of Finance. Yes.
And then the policies on who is supposed to do this on the workers' issue, that is the role of what? Ministry of Gender. Gender, Labor and Social Development.
All right.
And we had several meetings with His Excellency the President. We had to convince him, we had to assure him, and then we came to agreement on that.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And before we wrap up, I would like you to just do you have any parting shots for the workers who are watching right now?
No, the workers who are watching now, I want to assure them, I want to assure every worker, those who are entitled, even those who are not yet entitled, that this is one of the laws it is kind. Actually, in the whole world, it's the first midterm access.
Oh, wow.
In the whole world.
Yes.
And if we do it well, I hope other people will even come here to benchmark.
Absolutely.
And see how we have done it.
Yes.
So it is our baby. We need to make sure we nurture it, we make it work properly, and we will follow it to the latter to see that people access their money. Now, I also want to inform them that President, in his wisdom, he has written a letter to Minister of Finance, stopping UBRA from get taxing our money. They were getting over 7 billion per year from our savings. So we have saved that money. That money will now be accrued to members' accounts.
Yes.
And for me,
that is a win.
That's a win.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Mr. Wilson, for joining me today on the Twitter Jabs on Sunrise at Sea. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. And I hope to see you again, you know, some other time, when after people have accessed their money, and then we can deliberate.
Maybe before you take me away.
Yes.
I just want, on a special way,
Yes.
to thank His Excellency the President and his cabinet, the members of Parliament, especially the Speaker and his team.
Yes.
Our members of Parliament representing workers. You, the media, you played a very big role in this, because without you putting our voices out there and so on, we wouldn't have reached here.
Yes.
And everybody who participated
Yes.
in giving us this. About how they are going to use the money and so on, that one will come another day when we have a plan and guide you on how to. But all in all, I want to thank everybody. May God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. And there you had it. I just had a conversation with the Chairman General of the National Organization of Trade Unions, and that's Mr. Asha Wilson Owere. Stay tuned, and if you want to be a part of our conversation, if you want to weigh in comments, questions, inquiries, please head on to our social media, and that's at CTV Uganda on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And that is all I had for you on this segment of the Twitter Jabs. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea.